In the endless, thundering heartbeat of rock and roll, there are moments that feel like seismic shifts, moments when a single decision sends tremors across the entire music world. Today, that moment belongs to Ilan Rubin. For years, he has been the unsung juggernaut behind one of the darkest and most sonically complex bands in modern history, 9 Inch Nails. His drumming wasn't just timekeeping. It was the weaponry that gave Trent Reznor's music its razor-sharp edge. His hands, his timing, his sheer stamina, these became the pulse of countless unforgettable performances. But Rubin's genius was never confined to the drum kit alone. A multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, and visionary, he had the rare gift of moving between instruments as easily as others breathe. And at just 32 years old, when inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he secured a place in music history that many spend a lifetime chasing. But even the most powerful rhythms eventually turn a corner. In a conversation that now feels destined to be part of rock folklore, Rubin sat down with Trent Reznor and delivered news that would change both their worlds. "I've accepted a job with another band." There was no drama, no ill will, just the quiet certainty of a man ready for the next chapter. That other band would prove to be none other than the Foo Fighters, a group whose own story is stitched into the very fabric of rock's modern identity. Founded in the wake of tragedy, led by the unstoppable Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters have spent decades redefining what it means to be a rock band, balancing the grit of punk with the sweep of arena anthems. The announcement felt almost cinematic. 2 bands, both titans in their own right, exchanging drummers like master chess players making a daring move. Josh Freese, who had been propelling the Foo Fighters through their recent tours, returned to 9 Inch Nails, reclaiming a seat he had once occupied. Ilan Rubin, in turn, stepped into the Foo Fighters' circle, a new force in their ongoing saga. Music journalists described it as the drummer swap of the decade, a shift that left fans buzzing with speculation and excitement. And the timing could not have been more dramatic. Just weeks from now, on October 2nd, 2025, the Foo Fighters will take the stage in Jakarta, Indonesia. And for the first time, it will be Rubin's hands gripping the sticks, his rhythm driving the songs that have become anthems for millions. That debut isn't just another show on the calendar. It's a test, a celebration, and a declaration all at once. The energy will be electric, the pressure enormous. But Rubin is no stranger to high-stakes performances. He's played on the world's biggest stages, under the glare of thousands of lights, where every beat matters. What makes this moment so compelling is the fusion of 2 distinct musical identities. Rubin brings a precision and dynamic range forged in the industrial fires of 9 Inch Nails, a style built on discipline, texture, and subtle complexity. The Foo Fighters, on the other hand, thrive on raw energy, muscular riffs, and crowd-shaking choruses. Combining those elements has the potential to create something entirely new, a sound that honors the band's history while pushing it into fresh territory. Fans have already begun to imagine what Everlong, The Pretender, or Times Like These might sound like with Rubin behind the kit. How the familiar might be reshaped by his touch. And yet, beyond the technical possibilities, there is a human story here. Rubin's move speaks to the restless nature of true artists. After more than a decade of building, shaping, and perfecting one chapter, he's chosen to leap into another without knowing exactly where it will lead. That's the essence of rock and roll. Risk, reinvention, and the belief that the next song could change everything. It's the same spirit that drove Dave Grohl to turn personal loss into creative rebirth, the same drive that's kept the Foo Fighters alive and thriving for nearly 3 decades. When Rubin walks onto that Jakarta stage, it will be with the weight of both his past and his future on his shoulders. He will carry the echoes of Nin's shadowy, mechanical thunder into the bright, surging anthems of the Foo Fighters. Every downbeat will be a statement. Every cymbal crash will be a handshake between old fans and new. And as the night goes on, as sweat drips from the sticks and the crowd roars back every word, one truth will become undeniable. Ilan Rubin is not just joining a band. He is stepping into another chapter of rock history, and with every beat, he is writing it himself. The world will be watching. The sticks are ready, and in the space between the first and second beat, the legend will begin again. Long before this career-defining swap of drummers ever became reality, Ilan Rubin's path had been paved with the kind of milestones that most musicians only dream about. Born with an almost supernatural sense of rhythm, Rubin was already sitting behind a drum kit at an age when most kids were still learning their ABCs. By his early teens, he was performing at major festivals, his technical precision and fearless stage presence turning heads in every corner of the industry. The whispers began early. This kid is going to change the game, and they weren't wrong. By the time he joined Nine Inch Nails, Rubin had already built a reputation not just as a prodigy, but as a relentless craftsman who lived and breathed his art. His years with Trent Reznor became a masterclass in evolution. Night after night, tour after tour, Rubin adapted to the ever-shifting landscape of NIN's music, sometimes roaring with mechanical fury, sometimes vanishing into the shadows of hauntingly quiet passages. He learned the delicate balance between power and restraint, understanding that in the right hands, silence could hit as hard as a snare drum. These were not just performances, they were immersive experiences, each one sharpening his instincts for dynamics, timing, and storytelling through sound. It's this wealth of experience that makes his move to the Foo Fighters so fascinating. Rubin isn't just stepping into another rock band, he's stepping into a family that thrives on connection, chemistry, and unfiltered emotion. The Foo Fighters shows are as much about shared energy as they are about musical execution. They're a band that thrives on the sweat, the sing-alongs, the unpredictable magic that happens when a stadium full of strangers becomes a single voice.